sense, drop a 1 in the chat, clap your clap your hands or something. Just do something so I know we got live. People are live. There we go. Okay, so this is actually like some next level stuff we're talking about here, because if this is gonna get over your head, trust me, okay? I'm not doing this because this is, you know, monetary, because this is real right here. What we're looking at right here is the truth. This is the truth. Okay? This is some next level. So if we understand this and we understand each how this works, you will never have a problem with weight again. I promise you that. I know you all know women that just always have a fit, toned body. I know you do. And like this much genetics, but truthfully, there's a reason behind everything here. Okay, so when we look at the things, we look at the issues, we understand what's truly going on. People, we can heal. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's we're going to talk about. Here's the issue. With hypothyroidism, it is usually 90% of the time Hashimoto's, okay? And we know this because majority of the times when individuals go in and test their antibodies, they get Hashimoto's. But here's the issue. You go in to your doctor and you get your lab work done, but you only get TSH and T4, which is not an entire picture, but you have every thyroid symptom in the book. But it's because they're not testing your antibodies. And since they wait so long, your antibodies then keeps attacking your thyroid gland because it's an autoimmune condition. And then you actually get to the state where you have a dismantled you have hypothyroidism because your Hashimoto's has now destroyed your thyroid gland. Okay. And the conventional way to help with these thyroid conditions is levothyroxine or Synthroid, as you may know. But here's something. Hypothyroidism is not a disease. Hypothyroidism is not a disease. It is a state that your thyroid can be due to undernourishment, overtraining, toxic overload, poor gut health, poor liver health, nutrient deficiencies. If you correct those things, your TSH can level out and your T3 and T4 can come back. And you can safely, if you were on it, get off thyroid hormone. And I've done it. Hashimoto's, on the other hand, you could have that disease. Now that's a real disease, it's an autoimmune condition. But yet again, just taking thyroid medication is not getting to the root cause, because it is an autoimmune issue. It is not a thyroid issue. It is the immune system that's attacking your thyroid gland. So you have to figure out what's getting to the what's causing the autoimmune attack, and we'll get into that here. So obviously we have all the symptoms here. You know, we have all the low libido, even infertility issues, enlarged thyroid gland, constipation. We fix all of this here. So, you know, what are some of the stats? 60% of individuals with thyroid disease are unaware of their condition. All right. So here's the thing. There's pretty much 5 types of thyroid issues. 5 types. Autoimmune thyroiditis, or Hashimoto's thyroiditis, or Graves' disease. There's thyroid resistance, which is going to blow someone's mind. There's elevated thyroid binding globulin. There's hypothyroidism secondary to pituitary hypofunction. All right, don't get caught up in these big words here. If I can understand it, I promise you can. And thyroid underconversion, which is actually, you know, more common than we know. So what we talk about is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So this is an autoimmune condition where the immune system mistakes part of your thyroid, part of your body as a threat and ends up attacking itself. Here's what I'm telling you. When you're running through the processes with the flush, the foundation, the execution, and the optimization here, we are correcting what could be triggering the immune system to attack the thyroid gland. How do we know this? Well, we do an elimination type diet okay, while supporting your gut microbiome and your intestinal health, while balancing your adrenal glands, while stimulating your thyroid function, and all the other things. So what that then does is lower your TPO, TGA, your antibodies. More energy, better digestion, more mental clarity, so much more. And the medical system fails to understand that just your immune system is the true culprit to a Hashimoto's issue, not your thyroid gland. In fact, giving thyroid hormone in most cases can actually cause you to be hyperthyroid, causing you more symptoms, heart palpitations, more anxiety. But everything's for profit, so we know that. So thyroid resistance is the next topic. This is why we detox. This is why we work on your liver detoxification, and we use specific products, as some of you know. We go into Cellcore and things like that to help actually get to the deep cellular inflammation that could be triggering or giving you these symptoms. So here's the paint picture here. You could have normal, so this is why everyone has normal lab levels for their hormones, but they still feel like shit, is because the actual hormone is not getting into the cell to perform its physiological function. Is this making sense? Do a thumbs up or something. So what I mean is that you could be making enough hormone, okay? You could have enough thyroid hormone. Your thyroid gland's producing enough T3, which is the active form. But what's happening is that it's not getting into the cell to actually perform its physiological function. So it can't get into the cell's nuclei, okay? So remember this, low-fat diets are chemical castration to your cells and your hormones, okay? Because your cells are lined with a bilipid membrane made of saturated fat and cholesterol. This is why we have so much fat in the beginning of our diets, because it's more Mediterranean, and it's super good for inflammation in your cells. Okay, so what happens though is that we have all this inflammation and toxins in our body. But what does that even mean? What is that inflammation and toxins? Well, let's get into it. Inflammation from emotional past trauma. Inflammation from pro-inflammatory processed foods, packaged foods, gluten, fast foods. Okay, big one now, toxins. Endocrine disrupting chemicals, the water you drink, different types of chemicals, okay? These all cause inflammation and toxicity inside of our cells. But what then happens is that our liver can't keep up with the overburden of toxins that we get. You talk to a normal conventional medicine doctor, they'll tell you your liver is fine with detoxing through the environment. Yeah, if it was the 1920s. It's 2024, we ingest a card of plastic a week. Our livers cannot keep up anymore. So we're not able to detoxify those toxins out of our body efficiently and appropriately. So then it builds up and it actually accumulates in fat tissue. But what is it actually doing here? Now in the cellular level, it's causing inflammation, which now that inflammation won't let your cells get into performance physiological function. So even if you're taking thyroid hormone, and the thyroid hormone could be great because you could have Hashimoto's and your thyroid gland could just be destroyed anyway, it still can cause you to have symptoms. So if we remove that inflammation, we support detoxification, which we do. The Mediterranean diet, the different types of oils, the different types of medicinal foods we use, the supplements, by just training, sweating, sauna, meditation. It does all those things. Okay? Next is elevated thyroid binding globulin. So what this is essentially it's trapping all of your hormone due to high estrogen, mainly. Because your estrogen and your thyroid play together. Okay? So when you're dealing with high estrogen, it traps up all your free hormone, T3. A lot of women that are postpartum deal with this, for sure. They don't have enough hormone. They have enough hormone in their body, but they can't use it because it's all binded to thyroid binding globulin. And the high estrogen does that as well. Well, guess what? It's falling back in my lap. By focusing on your liver, you remove all needed excess estrogen out of your body. Guess what another thing actually does? Magnesium. 400 milligrams. And you can't get that through food. That's why it's mandatory. All right? So by supporting your liver, using magnesium, even creatine, all severely helps lower your estrogen, which then helps you free up more thyroid hormone by decreasing thyroid binding globulin. Okay? Now here's a big one. And this is actually newer stuff here too. And this makes up for a ton of hypothyroidism issues. Thyroid underconversion. Do you know there's not one pharmaceutical drug that doesn't cause a nutrient deficiency? There's not one. It's all out there. It's all out there. PubMed, Johns Hopkins University. It's all there. I've seen it because I know people that do it. That are actually doing it. So what does that mean for you? If you are taking any medication, you are at risk, 100% risk for a nutrient deficiency. And what nutrients are mainly depleted through pharmaceutical drugs? Your B vitamins, iodine, selenium. What do all those have in common? Well, they play with your thyroid gland. Levothyroxine, Synthroid, beta blockers, statins, whatever, different types of birth control, all deplete your sex or all your nutrients essentially. Okay, so what does this mean for us? Okay, so if we deal with a lot of stress, that can deplete, because stress depletes nutrients. But let's get into it. Your thyroid gland mainly needs tyrosine, iodine, selenium, and then vitamin A and a bunch of other ones, but we'll stick to these three because these are the main ones I want to talk about. So T3 and T4, those are iodine atoms. T3 has 3 iodine atoms and T4 has 4 iodine atoms. To turn that 4 into 3, which is the active form, it has to cleave an iodine. Okay? And then there's that enzyme that does that called deiodinase. That deiodinase enzyme uses selenium. Okay? Here's the thing. We're severely iodine deficient. So then, therefore, we don't have enough iodine in our body to actually make T4 and then to convert that into T3. What then happens? Well, since we can't make enough thyroid hormone for T3 and T4, our TSH skyrockets. What then happens? Free T4 goes up, okay? But it can't get inside the body, or can't get inside T3. So you get hypothyroidism, when it was really an iodine deficiency. But they throw medication on it. They tell you to eat less, move more. They tell you it's not calories in, calories out, or that it is calories in, calories out. You see where it all goes wrong? This is all we focus on. Iodine deficiency. Many things that are in our just life today depletes your iodine. And women need more iodine than men because they have more organs and tissue that they need it for. Okay, because you guys have ovaries, or you women have ovaries and breast tissue. Okay, men just need it for their thyroid, and then their or testes, really, is truthfully what you'd say. Okay, but pretty much women need more iodine for those things. Okay, so it's easier for women to become iodine deficient because their body needs to use more. So what does that lead to? Well, actually, this leads, if you are on, well, this is a statistical fact here. Birth control increases the risk of hypothyroidism by 200%. Okay. But here's the thing. You can't just be taking iodine if you have Hashimoto's. Okay. Because it could be a negative thing. Okay. I mean, this is all case dependent. Please bear with me. Okay. This is depending on what your specific situation is like. But for many, I'd say, even with people with Hashimoto's, with people with Hashimoto's with me, we still do the iodine, and it's still incredible because most people are just deficient in it. So big thing, gluten. I do not, obviously we cut gluten out, but I do not suggest gluten whatsoever as moving forward. Now, sourdough bread is different. Gluten-free, obviously, gluten-free. But pure gluten, just pro-inflammatory. The way that they make it now is, I want you to always remember this. It is not food that's bad. It's what humans do to food that's bad. Okay? No food is bad. But the way that humans make, process, manufacture food is bad. Okay? Molecular mimicry. Okay? Gluten causes inflammation throughout the digestive tract. That inflammation in the digestive tract starts to do something called increased permeability. Meaning it starts breaking your cell walls apart by stress or inflammation. And it breaks something called zonulin, which is the tight junctions that keep your gut tight. It's like you have a wall between the outside of your gut and then the inside. And it keeps things from flowing out of there to get out into your bloodstream that you don't want. Because it's semi-permeable, because it lets your nutrients that you just ate and absorbed go into your body so you can actually use its so it can actually use things. But it doesn't, because it doesn't allow the things that you don't want, like what you excrete out, into your body. And what gluten does is inflame your intestinal walls to make you pretty much have what's called a leaky gut. Does that make sense? Pretty much gluten causes leaky gut, is essentially what I'm trying to get at. It inflames your gut and causes leaky gut. But here's how it ties back in. Leaky gut is one of the leading causes to autoimmune conditions, from rheumatoid arthritis, from MS, and to Hashimoto's. This is why we go gluten-free. IBS, gluten-free. IBD even, but I forgot to say IBD. So Crohn's, colitis, all of it. Okay. So here's a good view of a functional approach. 2, thyroid issues. So what impacts your thyroid, which then impacts your ability to lose weight? Stress, infection, trauma, radiation, medication, fluoride. Forgot to say, fluoride-free toothpaste. No Crest. Get off the Crest. Toxins. Pesticides, mercury, lead. lead. These are actually the main causes to women's hormonal issues. But guess what? By the detoxification process we run, this gets rid of it. All toxins. Low-calorie diets. In the beginning, we feed you more food because more food is more medicine. And we support your liver, kidneys, gallbladder, spleen. We support your lymphatic system. We give you all the nutrients. We give you the right exercise to support thyroid function. But what causes poor thyroid function? Stress and inflammation. Okay, poor gut health. A lot of the conversion happens in your thyroid gland. Nutrient deficiencies or excess. If you have excess fluoride and even iodine, but that's really rare, it can damage thyroid cells. And then vitamin D. Not having a thyroid, toxins, pregnancy and menopause, medications, and then not even being able to absorb the thyroid medication. So how we do this is we get to the underlying causes: gut, inflammation, toxicity, stress. Okay. Supporting the gut by flushing negative gram bacteria, by supporting and lowering inflammation by anti-inflammatory diet, low glycemic carbs, special medicinal foods, functional foods, and supporting detoxification throughout the liver, and balancing stress. The supplements you take, the foods you eat, all of those things help with all of these. Okay. So we do that. You're eating that depending on what specific master client plan you're on. You eat a lot of fatty fish if you can, okay, because it has high omega-3 fatty acids in them, which helps balance out your omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid. Same with all the oils like the flax, the chia, the olive, the avocado, all of them. Blood sugar levels. Okay, processed food, try to get away from those. We use a methylated B complex because actually 44% of the population deal with MTHFR gene or a COMT T gene, which all impair methylation. We use adaptogenic herbs, herbodrenocordes. We heal the gut. We support liver detoxification pathways. We remove trigger foods. We obviously cut back and redefine carbs, refine sugar and artificial sweeteners. We increase the nutrient density of food through whole foods. We use healthy fats. We use gut healing foods at times depending on where you're at in the process, because we don't want to bring a bunch of good bacteria or even bacteria in to a gut that's overgrown. Limit alcohol, and depending on iodine rich. Low toxic lifestyle, that's why I give you those resources. Heavy metals, reduce stress. Okay, tell you to meditate. We're trying to get to sleep. The bedtime routine, I don't just put it there for fun to look at. I have it there. All right. And at the moment, we're actually, some of you might know this, but we're actually getting with a counselor. So what that means is that you'll be able to meet with a lady, and this is in the process here, and you're gonna be able to do counseling. Not really like, not like that, but just more so if you have any like things you need to work through, like emotionally, because I can only do so much. I can only just run everything, and I wish I was just a genie in a bottle, but I kind of am. But I'm just like, all right. But yeah, adopt a low toxic lifestyle, meditate, all those things. So let's get into some foods to help you with your thyroid gland. Obviously, you guys are all having some. So in the beginning, we don't have enough. We don't usually do that much red meat because it could be hard to digest. We just want something that's going to be light for you in the beginning, and then as you move forward, Vitamin B12, big thing was the salmon, sometimes organ meat, eggs are really good, but, those are all dependent on where you're at in the process. Okay, magnesium, shit ton of green leafy, or leafy greens, okay, different types of nuts and seeds, okay, grass-fed beef, things like that, selenium, and then things with the iodine, vitamin B, and vitamin C. So, yeah. So that was the, very. So first of all, did all that make sense? Was that a lot right there? Was that helpful? That makes sense, at least. Does all this make sense? Okay. So, with all this being said, it all has to play with your ability to lose weight and have freaking energy. Okay? Because it's not just about just cutting calories. It's not just about training more. It's about helping the body heal from within. And that's exactly what we do. That's exactly what I'm doing with all of you. Okay? The things I give you is not just me pulling it out and just, I don't just wake up and think about what adjustments am I going to make with an 8-ball. There's a process. But all this education, this knowledge, and this implementation, and all this screaming I do to you is not just to be, that guy, but it's to help you kind of understand and understand the process and understand, because all I want to do truthfully is make you win. That's what I'm here for. I need you to win. I don't want you, I need you to. So whatever I can do, by people severely undereating and overtraining, they're suppressing their thyroid gland. This is giving them weight loss resistance because they don't have enough nutrients coming in. They have suppression of immune function and increased permeability likely. They have gut issues that occur. They have immune system problems. And you can only imagine what happens then. By feeding yourself up in the beginning, by balancing out your adrenal glands, by supporting nutrient sufficiency, all of these things get fixed. And that's exactly what the flush does, going into the execution, and then into function. And as we get more people, you'll actually have the opportunity to get a Dutch hormone test through me, and I'll provide it. And so by looking at that, we're able to look at all your sex hormones and a cortisol reading. Should be very helpful. It's going to help you with a tailored protocol to heal. Okay. Is there any questions? No questions. All right. So what we're going to have you do is just continue to keep pushing. Don't give up on yourself. Do not. There's a reason why the Lord put you here. There's a reason why you either came from a friend, followed me on Instagram, or saw an ad. There's a reason behind that. So for the common courtesy for your children and for your family. Do not give up on yourself. That's all I got. Every day we win. All right. Functional health coach, Dale Reyes. I'm always here. Text me whenever you need anything. All right. I'm always going to get back to you. So don't feel afraid to spam me or whatever. If it's not right away, I'm going to get back to you. All right. All right. So don't worry. And we'll continue to keep winning. All right. Let's do this. Now, if you want to lose the weight and get on calls just like that, so you can finally lose the weight, keep it off long term, get to the root cause, and get the motivation, accountability, and trust you want but need, message me root cause today.